So thank you for joining, Dorian. So as we see, the per diem has one of the framework which is supporting to integrate with lot of apps and which is helping lot of small businesses. How you come up with this problem? What are the challenges you face? And how you thought to fix this is a real one.
Yeah, cool. But first, maybe I can talk about what is Per Diem. So, Per Diem is a
Sure.
platform that helps local businesses, like coffee shop and restaurant, to basically launch their own brand and mobile app and website. And by doing that, we kind of increase their orders, we build loyalty, we grow their revenue. So in a way, we kind of started with the mobile app for stickiness, and then we kind of grow into more the engagement and loyalty side, which they all kind of intertwined with each other. That's kind of like pretty. Then how did we think about the idea or approach it? My co-founder, his brother owned a restaurant. He himself used to own a restaurant. He's a partner in a restaurant. So we both worked at Open Table. That's where we met. So we always kind of know about the business, the vertical, the pain there. And then once you realize that companies like third-party delivery charge like 15, 10, 25% out of each order, and the restaurant revenue are 10%, 5%, those are very high margin for restaurants. And they're taking more than that. We realized, okay, there's a problem. And then on the other side of the spectrum of, on one side you have those third parties, and then on the other side you have the big platform like McDonald's and Starbucks, they can afford having a product managers and engineers and designers and data analytics and they have all of the tools that basically everyone in the middle kind of stay behind. So we want to basically give them all those tooling with a SaaS subscription basically. And of course at scale, it's kind of makes sense for us, but for each restaurant individual, and when I'm saying restaurant, I also mean like 100 location, like a big chain, they still won't be able to compete with like the Starbucks or the DoorDash. So
Sure, but that's fine. I think you recently did a good thing with there is one good cafe in New York, Mama and Papa, where you started, and how was your journey there? How was your client onboarding experience with your B2B SaaS solutions?
it depends on like what type of business is it, the one location or like the 100 location or their franchisee or not. So it's and I think that's kind of the hard part of our business. There's like very different ICPs. There's like the older people who want to have a coffee shop, the two young guys who open like a coffee shop and want to build a chain. So also the way they see their customers themselves is very different. So, and we need to cater them all. Some are doing more catering, some do more dining, some do more pickups and they need curbside or need catering. So the needs and the requirements are very different. That's I think the hard part of having a kind of like a white label platform. So onboarding, there's a lot of things like how do you approach marketing, right? Do you do walk-ins and just walk inside a place and says, hey, I'm working for a company called Per Diem. We help businesses to increase their like LTV, and they ask what is LTV, and then you kind of start a conversation. That also that's like marketing / sales, I guess. Physical could be anything, right? It could be like the media one, like cold calling, emails, text messages, Facebook, Instagram, and Google. Of course, those are like the obvious. That's why I haven't started there. They're more expensive, and I think you don't get feedback, right? Like if you walk into a place and you talk to them, you get the feedback, and it's easier. But yeah.
So how was your journey you're from technical background? You are now a co-founder. So you have journey with Apple, Beat, Music, lot of other companies as well. From your LinkedIn profile, how you transition yourself.
So I always wanted to be my own, like I always want to be like a startup founder. Like it's, like this is really what I want to do, and I always kind of push toward that. So like I started before that. That's how I moved to the Bay Area, and then I worked at Siemens, then Beats Music, and Open Table, and a company called Celdron. Yeah, Beats Music, Apple, Open Table, Celdron. But I always build product, right? I always did like Artistify, which is a marketplace for artists to sell their arts. And so I always try to do things constantly. I think a lot of the time people see a founder, like even think about like the Google founder and like even like Facebook. I'm sure Facebook wasn't the first platform they built. I don't know, but hide it out. Most people build so many things and that's how they know. That's how we knew how to use PHP and MySQL, right? When Mark Zuckerberg started Facebook, because he built something before that. And I think constantly building, and then it's get into then you fine tune it, right? You know how to build it, but then you kind of like, okay, wait, but how do you get user? What is churn? How do I maintain people and so on? So I think it's like it's a journey. So you constantly need to build until you have it. So
Sure. So about your AI rewards like AI CTO, AI CMO, AI CEO functionalities that involves a lot of AI automation.
yes, so that's exactly what we did. Like literally how per diem, right? So we first touched like the other company can afford people, and we like, okay, we can automate it, not the AI, but we can automate a lot of that, right? Like instead of you doing that, we'll create a script that like send you like, hey, let's send a push notification. But today with AI, it's not even that anymore. It's like I'm gonna send a push notification whenever I think it makes sense based on like AI. So like it will be like Monday 8 p.m. or based on the weather data and so on. You can completely automate it and say, hey, I have a coffee shop, here's the coffee shop name, location, and so on. When do you think I should send push notification? The AI will return. I'll trigger a push notification and the copy. So technically there's no human in the loop. And that's when we realized, okay, well, we can build this like AI co-founder for like businesses, for like brick and mortar businesses. So it's like your marketing, it's your CTO, which is your website, your mobile app, the marketing will be push notification, SMS, email campaigns, and so on. And like messaging about like product name, title, description, so we can automate that. So that's like, and then of course you have the CFO kind of like with the finance, and then the COO for the operation side. Operation could be like, what will be the preparation time for a specific dish? Or I see that you have a peak hours on those hours, so let's increase the basically we have this thing called pacing. So like you can only make 5 order per hour during those times.
And last, like maybe I will just ask a question. What is your current pain point when it's come to your business?
I think pain point will be, it's something that I do by purpose though. I rather release more feature than having totally like stable. So like, because we have merchant who are basically like setting up the product, a lot of the time there's like a merchant issues. They setting it up incorrect and then there's bugs. So I think that's kind of the pain point, like around the QA and make sure like you cover everything. But I think AI does open up a lot of stuff. So that's the main pain point. I think hiring good talent like anyone else. I think that's like everyone else has this problem, right? Hiring like the good people. And I think the A+1 who like, they're 24/7, right? They're like dedicated to the business. And I think as a business owner, you want to like, be fair with them as well. So yeah. So I think definitely it's like hiring. It's like the nature of white label apps that everyone wants something different, and like to what extent I'm going to customize the product, right? Because some people are like, can you customize that? Can you customize this icon? Can you customize I want like circle like borders and not circle, right? Like, and then your product become like very complex to even manage. Like, how do I can edit everything, which is a good and bad things, right? I thought people don't want to edit stuff. People just want to like build me things fast, and it worked. But you're always gonna have the one that says I need full customization, even though they won't do that. They'll just ask for those features.
So that would say like, how's your sales team look at those things? Do you feel like in your company growth, your company is growing good? I would ask for one of the pros and one cron about your company sales point of view.
Okay.
One of the best thing which they did, and one of the worst thing you are thinking that's happened with your company growth.
With my company, like what's the goal you mean?
In last 1 year, what is the thing which you achieved, which you're proud of, and what is the thing which you feel like didn't went well, and why?
So I think I'm proud of how the entire company executed our huge growth for the past recent months.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we've been growing really
I have seen that.
like really fast for the past couple of months. We were able to support like really specific thing in like a matter of weeks sometimes. Like, hey, we need this, and like, boom, let's do that. So I think very proud of that. Things we can improve. I think we can always like improve like the product quality. But I think we're doing so much. Like there's a lot going on. So I think definitely we can improve on that side. Around marketing and sales, I think I'm more of the engineering and product person. So I don't want to talk for sales, but I do say that if you Google Score Marketplace and you Google per diem, so per diem have 108 5 stars and one 4 star. And even and just for like like so people don't like understand, but this is like DoorDash, okay? This is 1.4 star 13 review, and this is again this is DoorDash, company much bigger than us, right?
Yes.
But let's look for per diem. If you go for per diem, and again, we're not just the brand and mobile app, with the website, the loyalty, and the points, but we're at 109 at 5-star reviews. We have one, which was 4. We didn't even like ask them to go update it, even though we did. Anyway, there was one 4-star, which even if you read the review, it'll be like, okay, that's like that. Doesn't make sense, but yeah.
So how your AI agent are helping the founders of another businesses or your clients to grow their businesses?
I guess think about that. Let's have 3. Like think about the formula, right? Like a CLV, customer lifetime value, right? So I think we kind of, at least in my head, I see it into like three variables, right? We have the average order value, we have the lifetime of that customers, and the frequency. So if you can like increase any of them, you already increase the customer lifetime value that I'm getting. So let's say before using per diem, a person spends $6 and he comes once a week, and then after 3 months, he kind of move on to another coffee shops. Okay, that's kind of the average. If I can increase the frequency from once a week to twice a week or 3 times a week, right? That $6 is now 18 and not 6. If I can increase the order size value, right? The order average value from 6 to 9, that's already this. And if I make sure that the churn is not 3 months, it's actually now in 5 months. So I also extend the time that is your customers. And I think that's the secret. Like, how do you do that? And I think that's with points and loyalty and says, hey, it's happy birthday to Shark, come for a free breakfast. Bring your spouse, get a 50% off. Stuff like that, or even just happy birthday, it doesn't have to be any, it could be like very authentic as well. And I think that's definitely increased like the values.
With that said, like it was amazing meeting with you. And I have like last 2-3 questions. I'm sure you already have a best of the best engineers in your team. What if like from our audience, if like they feel like you have few problems from our audience, from our guest, or from anybody who is watching this podcast has already solved your problem, how they can connect with you? Would you consider connecting with them with you first thing? And if it is yes, how they should approach? Suppose you have some problem like per diem, sales side, your client or integration with AI agent. Suppose maybe look at any company, Google, Microsoft, or maybe any small startups, like it could be anything. I am just talking.
Sure, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm always happy to help people, yeah.
So if they wanted to integrate their platforms or they wanted to try your platforms and make their own platforms, how they should reach out to you? Is LinkedIn is the best way to reach out?
Yeah, I think LinkedIn is always easy. I always reply, but be short. I love that people send me like a book long message. It's always spam. It's always this way. No one reads it.
Yeah.
Don't start with like dear Madame Sir. It's also seems like just says, hey, this is who I am. Like one sentence. Can I work for you? And then or even put it in the subject. Hey, I want to work for per diem. And then says like sometimes people just don't get what they want. Like they're trying to sell me something but yeah.
And about last 2 questions, I got the audience. So there are like no strings attached. They can directly reach out to you directly on the LinkedIn, or their own business founder stuffs. And will be some issues in their current challenges.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. If I can help and like someone in the same domain or needs some help, I wouldn't also ask for too much sometimes if they want to get you know what I mean? Like you want to, again, like I'm running through so many stuff day to day. So yeah, but yeah, sure. Anything around startups and, if I can help. And again, I don't think I know everything. And the more you know that you know less. So.
And that's it, I think, with that said.
Cool, man. Well, Tushar, good luck, man.